Alright, well, hello everyone, and welcome to December 2016's RPG Crate unboxing. This month's theme, as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, is Dungeons Deep. I can't really do much about the reflection off of the TV, off of these posters behind me, so I guess we'll just have to kind of ignore that, and I'll try to bulk up and keep my shoulders up here. But anyway, why don't we jump right in? So, let's see what we've got. Trying a new setup over here at the table. Right, we got our Dungeons Deep card, which we'll go through that. We got, yet again, we have a t-shirt. So, what we have now, Eastgate Fortified Brewery, Dungeons Deep Ale, Dwarven Smoked, or Dwarven Stone Smoked. So you can check that out. This is actually working out pretty well for unboxings, this table. So we can go ahead and leave this down here as a reminder of what we got. We got a tube, which I'm going to assume has a poster. So let's take a look here. Looks like. Can we get that out? Maybe a map? Alright. Yes, we've got a map. You guys can see there. This looks like this is the player side. Well, it's black and white, or gray here on the back. Eastgate, down to the brewery, nursery, and then the back. Actually, it's 2 levels. This looks like an even further sub-level of the dungeon here on the back. So I have a feeling that's going to have to do with this month's Tales from the Bloody Bucket, so we're going to come back to that. We've got this little, this is from benmirabelli.com. This looks like a laminated, looks like a character sheet here. You've got your character name here at the top. Over here is your current temporary hit points. This is spell slots used from 1st through 9. Ammunition down here on the bottom. And then you've got your couple of resource allocations here, and then death saves right here in the middle. And on the back, it's got notes, spot for notes. So there's the front of that. Take a look at that. We'll read up on that in a little bit. We've got 3 effing cool minis. All metal minis again. Remember, effing cool minis we talked about a little while ago on a Kickstarter spotlight, which I have been meaning to get back to do, I promise. This is Brothers in Arms, Rummy, Offrill, and Piney Eastguard. These are 3 little dwarven minis here. Looks like sword, axe, and hammer wielders. And they each come with a shield that you can add in after the fact as a point of reference. Here is a Wizards of the Coast dwarf mini. Get you, I don't know, it's probably pretty hard to see. If I had remote zoom on this webcam, I would go ahead and do that. But we've got our 3 little dwarven minis. We'll put them down here with their little shields. There we go, and again, keep for the scale with the Wizards of the Coast mini. Buff the shirt up a little bit so you can get a little bit of a better idea on their size. Okay, we've got Tales from the Bloody Bucket, 3 more. These are in black and white, this one is in color. 5A. This looks like this. Alright, let's see what we got. Average party level of 8. Winter Festivals, this is a kind of holiday themed one. Characters recover rest from the book. Barracks and training. This is like they're heading to the map that we have right there. And then this looks to be a percentile roll, possibly. I see. What we got? Barracks and training. Here we go on the main one here in color. Numbers 1 through 10. All the different, I guess that's all the, actually it's all the different rooms contained in this map. This has 11 to 16, all the way through 51. Magic item test room. So we might have some interesting magic weapons, some special dwarven swords, a couple of +1 items from a quick glance. Okay, some really expensive ale worth over 1,000 gold. And then here on the last little bit, we've got banner room, control room, some different pathways, and then some final fights with some interesting looking myconids and potentially an Oni, possibly. Pretty cool stuff. Again, I haven't really read through these. I do have a plan to go through and try to set up a game to allow to play through all of the Tales from the Bloody Bucket episodes, kind of. There's 3 per month, and they seem like really cool, unique adventures. They add a lot of different things, and each month is themed. So I've been working to try to design a way to work with both my online friends, who you've seen here on the channel, as well as my in-person friends here at this table, and sort of do a mixture, have them all make an NPC, and it'll be serialized one-shots. There's still a grander story, and there is some lore behind the Bloody Bucket Tavern and what goes on there. So we'll go through all of that and set all that up, and then it's basically once a month, 3 adventures. This looks like this is pretty much one long dungeon crawl. It is Dungeons Deep is the theme, so it kind of makes sense. But the other ones seem like you may or may not be able to run one of the 3 modules. You may potentially be able to run that as a one-shot. I'm not sure what the length of each of them is, to see if it's like an hour or is it 3 hours. But even still, it might be fun to just do some short 1-hour games where we'll start everybody off at level 1 and people will play through and they'll get stuff as they level. We end that session. And because it's a tavern, the Bloody Bucket, where they kind of get all this information, and it's a job board, that means players can drop in and out. I can play with a group of solely online players 1 month or 1 week when I do one of these, and then a group with my in-person friends just as a fun kind of short little game. And then potentially, if my in-person friends are amenable to it, we could do a mixture where some of the online folks meet up with the in-person folks. And lastly, let's move the box down here. We have Dark Days in Stoneholm here. A 5th edition compatible adventure for 4 to 6 level 1 PCs. This is from AdventureAweek.com. If you're familiar, we did play through the kind of Halloween-themed one, which was Curse of the Full Moon, which is in AdventureAweek.com. You can download these digitally at AdventureAweek.com, or you can get the physical printed books. As you can see, they're all relatively... This is all in color, as you can tell, with little images. And they are fairly well, you got maps and stuff in here. Fairly well organized. Skill checks and ability checks are, let's see if I can find it, done here in purple. Kind of background information is done in green. Enemies are done in red. Treasure is done in blue. And then typically in the back here, actually here's a list of some AdventureAweek.com. These are Pathfinder, but you can get these for Pathfinder and 5e. Here we go, we got the maps if you want to tear them out or make copies. And let's read what we got here. Waves of supernatural darkness sweep over the subterranean city of Stoneholm, quenching lights and bringing with it foul creatures of shadow. After heroically defending a group of dwarven children from being ravaged by a group of these shadow beings, the PCs are approached by Deppenkut. Sorry, these names are bad. One of the king's own advisors, and are offered the task of finding the source of the darkness that threatens the city. I want to point out that that whole sentence I just read has 0 spacing. You can kind of see it right here. That's all just one line, no spacing, no punctuation. The PC's investigation takes them through the underworld to hidden caverns, where demon-worshipping priests offer living sacrifices in an attempt to plunge Stoneholm into everlasting darkness. A first step in destroying the hated city once and for all, but as it turns out, the priests aren't the only ones behind this unfolding plan to destroy Stoneholm. Dark Days in Stoneholm is a 5th edition compatible adventure suitable for 4 to 6 PCs of 1st to 2nd level that features low-level exploration in Aventyr's underworld and intrigue both in and around the dwarven city of Stoneholm. The fine dwarven-themed adventure includes dwarves, diabolists, and demons. These words and the spacing and the I'll show you guys. I'll move it up close to the screen. The underworld city of Stoneholm. 2 new magical items: the Aubade pendant to light a wayward adventurer's path, and the Darkheart ruby, a devious stone of dark portent. Nice that they tell you up front so you don't have to search. The Dark Blessed template, offering up a new means to embolden your monsters and NPCs. 2 separate dungeons: the Quartz Fell Glassworks and the Felltooth Temple. And then, as always, we have our dragon pull-apart foam here, which is in gray this time. Normally we get it in kind of a charcoal black. This is a light gray. You can kind of see there as I pull on it for putting minis in. So if you have been keeping up and have gotten every one of these, you'll have 5 of these things of pull-apart foam, which, as I spit everywhere, which will actually fit and fill one of these boxes all the way up to the top. So you can use an RPG crate box with all of the pull-apart foam that came with it to store minis in. So that's it. Let's see if I missed anything here on the card. T-shirt, RPG dry erase tracking sheet with a dry erase marker. I was easily keeping up with my stats and not messing up my character sheet, is the quote. These are nice, don't get me wrong. Not a huge fan. Oh, well, the sound is fun. These can be, show Pat's stuff here on the stream, but this is what I put together for him. This is a cheap, minus, ignore the stickers, just a cheap 29-cent folder that has the kind of rivets in the middle for putting in bound things, and you can go ahead and just take the plastic covers and slip your character sheets in them and then keep them protected, and then you can dry erase right on these. It's the same thing as the D&D character folios that Wizards of the Coast make, or you can find from any other kind of gaming company. This is cool. This, I think, could be more of a better use if there was more stuff added on it for, say, a Dungeon Master than actual player use. I'm probably not going to use this, to be honest. But, that's that. Exclusive metal minis. Can't beat minis. 3 dwarven metal minis. They're fairly unique looking. Kind of remind me of Lost Vikings, if you've ever played that game. Dark Days in Stoneholm. One thing I will tell you is nobody seems to spell check and or grammar check any of these printed AdventurerWeek.com books. And the reason I say that is because I picked up Curse of the Full Moon, and which came in my RPG crate. The introduction to the game, like the intro background of the story, the first 2 pages are that, and then it just completely ends abruptly, and then the 3rd page is them repeating that same story again, rewritten, doubled over, and then actually continuing on to give you the full story. And the punctuation on the back, it's just disastrous. I'll come show you guys in a second. The 11x17 full color map for the Tales from the Bloody Bucket. They're calling this a scroll and map tube. This is included on the manifest for what you get. This is a cardboard tube, my friends. This is not worth calling out, in my mind. Anybody can get these. You can get these pretty cheap. You can get them a lot longer, a lot thicker. And you can get one this size, even longer, and cut it and make your own cases as long as you can buy the caps. Probably wouldn't have made that a given item in the box. The dragon foam, as we talked about. And something that I always really enjoy are these Tales from the Bloody Bucket adventures. They do go out of their way to add cool, unique, whether it's a unique mechanic, a unique monster, like say an aqua dragon, which was like a blue-green dragon mixed together, which was a cool concept from an earlier crate. And whatever the theme for the crate is also what the theme for the adventure is. And again, the design of it being one-shots that you can kind of run and mix together, you can play these kind of drag and drop. You can drop them into your existing campaign, whether it's pre-written or not. You could have your players find the Bloody Bucket wherever it is, and then say, oh, well, you guys walk into a tavern called the Bloody Bucket, and there's a job board, and there's this posted on the wall. And then you can kind of, if you did this one, this is a level 8 full-on dungeon crawl with a whole map. You could drop this right into your existing campaign and say, well, here's a mini dungeon for them to go through, maybe find some cool items, learn a little history about these dwarves, and this can easily just drop right in and then that's it. Or you could try to do what I'm going to attempt to do and play through them in a serialized fashion where people are going in, you're going to see the same characters, some new characters here and there, but you're playing through these job board things, short little adventures. Change it up, get some new people in, and then, you know, see how it goes. So, I like that they started to do the t-shirts every month. I like that. It kind of has a sort of more Loot Crate feel, because a couple of months they didn't do t-shirts, which helps to justify the price of the box. A t-shirt, especially these kind of t-shirts, these nerdy t-shirts, usually end up going, depending on where you get them from, for 20 bucks, usually. So it helps to justify the price. I do sort of miss the digital content. We used to get, we got some of Brian Rathbone audiobooks. We got all of those. The first, you know, I don't know too much about Brian Rathbone's books, but there were the trilogy that, or one of the trilogies he wrote was all of those. And we used to get Battle Bards, which were the digital sound, kind of soundscapes. You guys may have seen it just at battlebards.com. If you play in Roll20, they are now kind of linked up with Roll20, where you can get some of the content for free in Roll20. But they used to give you like a set tied to the adventure. Like the first set was dragons, so we got dragon themed music, and the next one was, I think, undead, so we got undead themed music, or vampires, or whatever it was. This, we could have had cool dwarven mining stuff. It would give you music, it would give you ambient sounds, and then it would give you like soundboard clips to play people talking and whatnot. So not, in my opinion, the strongest showing especially for the December holiday crate, but still cool. I'm still gonna keep up with the subscription at least for a little while longer. We'll see how it goes. You know, if they kind of do one that really bums me out, I might drop. But for now, I'm gonna keep it up. And that's why I do these unboxings and show you guys what's in it, so you can kind of judge and see what you think of these crates. And if you like them, if you think they're worth picking up or not. I'm just curious, so let me know in the comments below. Have you purchased RPG Crate? There are several other now popping up, and have popped up in the past, crates that are role-player, tabletop gaming specific crates. In the past, we had a lot of our just like the dorky crates, the nerdy crates, Loot Crate, One-Up Box, Nerd Block, and then those guys started to branch out into a whole bunch now. You've got Loot Wear, and you have Loot Anime, and Nerd Block Heroes, Nerd Block Gamer, whatever, all these different gaming things. And we have RPG Crate, Dungeon Crate is another one that's out there. I'm sure there's probably more